So everybody, it's what Jim. Let's go ahead and do the game review for Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. This is going to be my own opinion on the game. You can also let me know yours in the comment section below with no spoilers, as this is an unspoiler review, and I've got some time codes in case there's a specific part of the video you want to go ahead and watch. And we're going to review Super Mario 3D World first, then we're going to review Bowser's Fury. So Super Mario 3D World was released in 2013. This isn't really like a remaster or a remake of it, but it's sort of like just a Nintendo Switch improved version, really. And I've not 100% completed the game, but I have completed the main story, and that's the case for Bowser's Fury as well. So we'll start off with the good, with the good for Super Mario 3D World, and we'll start off with that. I thought the game was enjoyable and fun for most of it. I had an absolute blast pretty much playing all of it. I thought most of the levels were done very, very well. I think most of them had something unique to that specific level. Some of them you have to like move to the beat of the music. One of them you have to, I think, go through loads of different pipes. And one of them there's platforms that turn invisible. So there's just all sorts of different unique scenarios like that in every level, which make it stand out. Well, not every level, but I'd say most of the levels do have something to make it stand out. I also think that the gameplay controls is done really, really great as well. I've not really got too many problems with the gameplay controls. I thought the story for the game is just okay. Nothing to really write home about. To be, I'm not. I don't play Mario games for the story, and this one is just a generic story to me. I thought the boss fights were quite fun, but some of them could be a bit more challenging and tough. Some of them are quite challenging and tough, but some of them could be a lot more challenging than they are. I also love the graphics and the looks of the levels, and I think it's one of the best graphics in a Mario game, and the levels just look absolutely incredible. I think the fact that it's up to 4 players as well, which is also got drop in and drop out co-op. I believe it's got multiplayer. I'm not 100% sure, but I might go ahead and look it up in a minute to see if it actually does have multiplayer or not. But I played it with my sister and my mum and dad. We all played Super Mario 3D World at one point together, and that was just a lot of fun. That was just so much fun. All of us playing Super Mario 3D World. I also think that the soundtrack for this game is done excellently. Again, I think one of the better Mario games for the music as well. Actually, there is online multiplayer. I forgot it on my notes. I just realised, but yeah, that's really cool that there is online multiplayer for this game. I don't believe it did for the Wii U. But that's it for the good. We'll now talk about the bad for Super Mario 3D World. So we'll talk more about the boss fights. They're just underwhelming. Not too many of them are tough and challenging. I don't know. I think maybe half of them are tough and challenging, and half of them are not. I can't remember most of the boss fights, to be honest, because I just think the boss fights in this game are quite forgettable. I think some of the levels are too hard or slightly boring. I think some of the levels are just a little bit too challenging to complete, in my opinion. And you also have to collect a certain amount of stars to proceed in the game. It wouldn't be an issue if the game was easier. It's just a bit annoying that you've got like 60 stars and you need 80 to get to the next area. It's just, I feel like the game's maybe too tough at times to get that amount of stars. It should do what Crash Bandicoot 4 did, which is having an option to have a limited amount of lives. So now we're now talking about the lives for the game. So yeah, they should have done what they did in Crash Bandicoot 4 and had it so you can get a limited amount of lives, not having a certain amount of them. Um, it's not a major issue, but it's just when you die, you have to do the whole level again. You've only got about 3 lives. That's not enough. I feel like there should be a way of getting unlimited lives. There is a cheat on how to get extra lives, and I'll link that video down below in the description. It's a very, very useful video. It's a very, very helpful one. If you want to get extra lives, that is an amazing way of doing so, and it's one of the first levels in the game. You get to do this as well. I also thought that the camera angle isn't the best. It's not bad or anything, but it's not anything that great. I feel like the camera angle could have been a lot better in this game. Um, I also looked at different characters in this game. There were Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad. I don't feel like they all have one ability and that's it. one good ability, and that's it. And I think most people want to play as Mario, not only because he's the main character, but he's also the perfectly balanced character. And I feel like the rest of the characters don't really have many amazing things to really use them for. Toad can run fast, Mario, Luigi can jump high, and Peach can hover. But I just feel like most people want to play as Mario because he's the perfectly rounded character. So I feel like maybe they could have made those characters had a few more perks I would have liked. Um, I also these are problems that could have been fixed with an updated version of Super Mario 3D World. Maybe not all of them, but I think a lot of these they could have fixed for this version of the game. But I recommend this game to people who like Mario and for people who like platformers. And overall, I did really enjoy this game. I would rate it an 8.5 if it was a Wii U version. I've not played the Wii U version now. This was my first time playing it. But as the version of the Switch that I feel like they could have done some improvements on, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's not an 8.5 for me because I feel like they could have improved on a few more things. But that's really all I'm going to say for Super Mario 3D World. We'll now talk about the good and the bad and the verdict for Bowser's Fury. So for the good, I feel like the gameplay is just as great as Super Mario 3D World's gameplay was. I also think it was just I had just as much enjoyment as Super Mario 3D World as well. I also thought that Bowser's Fury itself is a very interesting concept, a very unique one as well. I've not really seen many games having this sort of approach, and I think more video games should definitely do this. I don't think this was executed the best, but I still feel that the concept is really amazing for it though, and it can be a little bit frustrating when the Bowser Fury actually happens. But there are these things called Fury blocks which make it useful for when he comes in, and basically the collectibles in the game, the cat shines, some of them are hidden behind these Fury blocks that only Bowser can destroy. So it makes it useful when the Bowser's Fury happens. It's not just an annoying thing that can happen. It not only looks pretty cool, but also it's very useful to collecting some of those cat shines as well. And also there's a giant cat Mario. You see in the image of it now. I just love the fact that you can get a giant Mario in a cat suit. It's just I don't think you can get anything cooler than that in a Mario game. I also thought the story was interesting and more enjoyable than the one in Super Mario 3D World. I just thought it was a little bit more unique. And I also just really enjoyed all the islands to explore. I don't know if I've explored all of them, but I've explored pretty much all of them. I've completed the story for this game, all the way through, and I think the music and soundtrack is just as enjoyable as Super Mario 3D World. I might enjoy 3D Worlds a bit more, but I still think the soundtrack's done excellently here. I also think the graphics are better here. There's just more attention to detail, and I love the attention to detail in this game. Um, and Bowser Jr. is also in the game and he helps you out. You can choose whether he helps you a little bit or a lot, so I like that you get to decide how much he helps you. And also there's a character called Plessy who also appeared in Super Mario 3D World. That was the first game that Plessy appeared in. And as soon as you're near water, Plessy's always there, so you can jump on Plessy and you can move all around the game so much easier because there's water pretty much more than there is land in the game. I also think the power-ups are done. The power-ups are done pretty well in Super Mario 3D World, but I think they're done better in Bowser's Fury. It's also quite easy to get them, and there's an inventory for them as well. That you didn't get that. You didn't get that luxury in Super Mario 3D World, so it's excellent to get it here. And also the enemies are done quite well here. A lot of them are catified. There's a lot of cat things going on in this game, and I like that they just look a little bit more unique. And I think the length of the game, even though it's quite, I do feel that maybe it could have been slightly longer, but I still didn't feel like it was. I didn't feel like it was a bad length. I still thought the length was done really well. And you also want to talk more about the cat shines. I just think that there is a really good amount of them. There's not too many. There's not too little. 100 exactly, and I think that's a really good amount. But that's it for the good for Bowser's Fury. We'll now talk about the bad for it. So for me, this is a 1 to 2 player game, but the second player who plays Bowser doesn't really do a whole lot. So to me, it is a 2 player game, but it's more fun when you're playing it with one person. I have to say, and the game could be slightly easier. I think the hardest day I was on the game was the first day for some reason. I was just really struggling on the game for the first day. Maybe it's because I had a break after I completed Super Mario 3D World. I completed that last year, and I did Bowser's Fury this year, so in 2022. So maybe because I did have quite a long break, nearly a year break, maybe that had to do with it. And this is more of a suggestion to make the game. This is more of a suggestion to make the game even better. It's not a huge negative to me. It would be cool in the settings for the game if you could change how often Bowser appears in the game. So rather than appearing every 15 minutes or so, maybe you can choose whether he comes every 5 minutes, or maybe every half an hour, or only comes after you collected a certain amount of cat shines. Just it would be quite nice to have that customizability. So if there is a sequel to this, I would like that to have to be an option. Um, and also, I think the game it would probably be then easier for kids having to choose how how often Bowser appears, and if he just appears like after he collects certain catch lines, it would just make the game easier overall, and less frustrating, and just a more fun experience. I think for most people, if you could have the option to choose as how often Bowser appears, but it might be quite frustrating if he comes every 5 minutes. But it'd just be nice to have a choice to how often it does come in this game. But I also think that the boss fights for this game are pretty weak. They're just I feel that they're on the same level as Super Mario 3D World. I just think they're nothing really amazing. They're just okay boss fights. That's just my dog barking. I do apologize about that. But I recommend this game to people who like Mario and for people who like platforming games. And I'd rate this one an 8.5 out of 10. So I guess it means I do prefer this slightly more to 3D World. But now we'll talk about the verdict for both of these games now. So I recommend this to people who like Mario and for people who missed out on the opportunity for playing Super Mario 3D World when it came out on the Wii U in 2013. And I rate both of these together an 8.5 out of 10. If you're a Mario fan, I definitely recommend to get this. And I'm now going to tell you where I actually got my version of Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. So I got my version of the game from the official Nintendo store, and that's where I recommend to get yours as well, because it does come with a sticker sheet that I think is exclusive to the official Nintendo store. And yeah, that's where I went ahead and got mine. I also did a review on it there. And yeah, that's basically all I'm going to say. It's where I got mine from. So if you want to go ahead and get this game, get it from the official Nintendo store, or you could get it on Amazon, you get it on eBay, probably for cheaper if you want. It's entirely up to you, but where I got mine was from the official Nintendo store. And that's basically all I'm going to say for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing another Would You Rather video. And you never know, some Mario questions might appear on that. But overall, I did really enjoy playing these games. I did prefer Bowser's Fury slightly more to Super Mario 3D World. And I would highly recommend to get this if you like platforming games and if you like Mario games in general. That's all I'm going to say here, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace out and ciao.